my textured background done, I need to add 3 symbols that are meaningful to me. First, I want to come over here and look at my layers because I don't want everything to just go on the background, because if I need to go back and edit anything later, I want it to be on its own layer. This also lets me rearrange what is in front and what is in back. So the first symbol I looked up is a symbol of a sunflower, because sunflowers are very hardy. They can grow anywhere, like out of the cement. So they're a symbol of strength. They are also capable of cleaning toxins out of soil, so they're often planted in places that have had things like nuclear events. So they're a symbol of hope. So I think that I'm gonna get this one. Now notice I clicked on this is called a thumbnail, the small version of the image, because I will show you the difference. If I drag the thumbnail onto my project, I get this tiny, tiny little image. And if I want to blow that up, it gets really pixelated because that's a very small and low quality image. So I want to make sure that I click on this image to get the larger version, so that when I bring this over, it's better quality. So now I have a sunflower on layer 1. The size of the image we've put in our project, we need to free transform. You can come up here to edit and free transform, but we do see there's some hotkeys there. So a shortcut to this would be to just press Command T, or if you're on a black Windows keyboard, it would be Windows T. So I'm going to press Command T, and we get these sizing anchors. We can size up or down. We can also hold Shift on our keyboard to stretch and flip this. So once we get it to the size we want it, we can just hit return to set it down. Like I said in the layers tutorial, once you start getting projects with hundreds of layers, that gets really confusing. So we want to make sure and double click on the words layer 1 and rename this anything that makes sense to you. I'll rename it sunflower. So I really love having the sunflower here, but I have this big white background that I really don't need, and I want to take that out. Now there are several different selection tools we can use to take out the white background. First, I might come get my zoom tool and click once to zoom in on just this area. If you click and hold, we have 3 different lasso tools. We also have an object selection tool, a quick selection tool, and a magic wand selection tool. Up here, we have 4 different shape marquee selection tools. Because I could go through with my polygonal lasso tool and I can just make clicks to make a selection. I could do that around the whole object, and eventually I'd get around to the beginning and this would be a selection. That seems very time consuming and very tedious, so let's find a faster way. To get out of this selection, we are going to press Command D or Windows D if you are on a Windows keyboard to deselect. I could also use my magnetic lasso tool. That might be a little easier. This automatically recognizes the border between 2 colors. So if I click once, it will automatically pick up the edges of this color. You can see in the corners it's missing a little bit, so you can include extra clicks. I included an extra click there. I'll click there and click there. But a lot of it finds the edge for you. Now if I end up all the way over here, oops, I didn't mean to go there, you can just press delete and it will go back one anchor point. This still seems a bit time consuming for this image. So I'm going to press escape to get out of the whole thing. I'm going to move down here to my magic wand tool. This tool selects all of one color. So if I click on this white, it will automatically select all of that white, and I can just press delete. To get out of this selection, I can hit Command D to deselect. And now I can move my sunflower around on its own. Now let's say the next symbol I want to add does not have that really nice solid background color that I can use my magic wand tool on. Now I just want this compass part, and because my background is not a solid color, if I click it, it's not going to select everything I need. So I'm going to press Command Z to undo that, and I am going to zoom in, and let's try another one of our selection tools. Sometimes it might take some clicking around and trying out different selection tools to see which one works. I don't know if the magnetic selection tool will work because there's some kind of muddled dark colors in here, but we will try it. I'm going to click once and just follow along the edge. So we're having a hard time down here. This doesn't look like it's going to be the right selection tool for this one. So I'm going to press escape, and I'm going to come get my polygonal lasso tool, and I can just make clicks. You see my longer clicks create straight lines, so the more clicks I make, the rounder this will look. And you know what? I'm thinking that the magnetic lasso tool might work if I just follow this line up here instead of this one down here, and it might save me some time. Now to end this selection, I just need to click once at the very beginning. You can see it's not perfect, but it's close. Now I want to delete the back, what's around here. So if I just hit delete, we're going to delete the actual object that I want to keep in there. So I'm going to press Command Z to undo that. I want to flip this selection inside out. So I'm going to come up here to this select option and hit inverse. Now when I press delete, it has flipped that whole selection inside out and left me with just what I want. Now I can move this symbol around, and if I still want to size it differently, I'm going to hit Command T to free transform. I can turn it. I can make it bigger or smaller. If you right click it, you can rotate. You can flip it. You've got lots of options. And let's remember to rename this layer Compass.